But some news was made at the Senior Bowl. A lot of good edge rushers, a lot of good interior line play, a lot of good offensive linemen making a case for themselves. I think the quarterbacks kind of maybe are a little bit down, not as much hype surrounding those that were, tossing the football, but a lot of hype regarding, a lot of the players in the trenches. Like we said, the Stewarts, Josiah Stewart and Shamar Stewart, definitely along with Mike Green, kind of acclimated pretty well. Who caught your attention? What did you learn from the Senior Bowl? I caught the practices. I read all the reviews, the highs, the
Mhm.
lows. Definitely, it appeared to me that there's some edge players that you can get and some value too, as well, if you don't want to go early in the draft. But look, you go to the Blue Bloods. Oregon has great offensive linemen, and Ohio State, Texas, which was crazy because that was my review. That was the single reason why I went to, because I don't want to go to Ann Arbor personally. That's not my favorite place to sit in. I love the press box. The media there is nice. They're super cool. But I went to Michigan State and I get more joy going there. Just the joy, the love, the being an alum. You feel better.
Yeah.
But I went specifically, and people would say, "Why are you here?" People would see me and joke around, like, "Don't you ever take a day off?" I said, I said, I want to see the offensive line of Oregon. I want to see the offensive line of Texas. I want to see the offensive line of Ohio State. When I went to, I think, the state game, and I seen the greatest play from a wide receiver that I seen in Spartan Stadium with Smith just going bam,
Yeah.
catching it one
Yeah.
handed. I had to take it on the chin, but I got to see these offensive linemen, and that was my notes. Was like, these dudes look like monsters compared to the defensive line of Michigan and Michigan State. I was like, these are grown men. What are they putting in these lines? Texas rolled up like a professional team with 5 buses and motorcade, and Oregon and Ohio State. I definitely was impressed clearly with Mason Graham and Josiah Stewart at Michigan. But what stood out to me was the offensive line of Oregon and Ohio State. There's some blue bloods there. There's some talent there that the Lions may also be interested in. But who caught your attention at the Senior Bowl? What stood out to you? Who's a player or two that the Lions maybe should scoop up that caught your attention? And maybe somebody under the radar as well.
Yeah, I think Mike Green really made a statement for himself. Like, the clip going around where he's just bullying offensive linemen. Like, that to me is what you're looking for. And I think when you take a deeper dive into Mike Green, you like what you see because he is athletic. He's I believe a converted wide receiver. He was recruited as a wide receiver at one point, and then just had a really awesome year for Marshall in 2024. And now, he's one of those guys, though, that I got to be completely honest. I think he's like the trendy name that's going to continue to skyrocket. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out and crushes the combine. And then you're talking about a guy that the Lions might not be able to touch at 28. Like, he may be a top 15 guy when this is all said and done. And we've seen that before. Another guy that comes to mind from last year is Quinyon Mitchell, who was excellent at the Senior Bowl and ended up going to the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe, 22nd overall. But again, the Mike Green had an excellent week. I think on the offensive side, Gray Zabel from North Dakota State, that guy, somebody who just really popped out to me when I was reviewing. I love to dig in and try to find these small school guys, whether it's like Group of Five or FCS type schools, and just really get to learn about them. And Gray Zabel was one of them that. There's some versatility there. He's an excellent run blocker. He's a solid pass protection guy. There's some whispers and maybe he converts to an interior lineman, whether it's playing guard, whether it's playing tackle, whether he's playing center. Like, this is a guy that you would love to see the Lions pick up as another depth piece, just a mean dude who's not afraid to go in there and knock defensive linemen around. And then also shout out to TCU wide receiver Jack Besh. I mean, everything he's had to endure, the tragedy of losing his brother. He had a solid week and then caught the game-winning touchdown in the Senior Bowl. Just a really cool story. A guy you root for when you read about the things that he's had to go through recently with losing his brother. Just a tragic story, but for him to have that moment at the Senior Bowl is incredible. And that's a guy, like I said, that you want to root for. And that's a guy that I wouldn't be upset about the Lions scooping up maybe late day 2, early day 3 as well. Just a really cool story there with him.